Google Sites is an easy-to-use tool set for creating simple websites. In a previous video, we showed you the basics of getting in and creating a single-page site. In this video, we'll look at how to create and manage multiple pages, as well as menu options. I have here a Google site with a single page. I've chosen a theme, formatted the page, and added content. Now, I'd like to add more content to this site by adding more pages. Let's go back to the editor. To add an additional page, I click the Pages link in the upper right to bring up this column menu. At the bottom of this menu, there's a blue plus sign. When I hover over it, it gives me a couple options, and I'm going to click this icon next to New Page. I have to give the new page a name. Google creates the page and also adds a menu in the upper right of the editor screen, which corresponds to a menu that's on the live site. When I had a single page, I didn't need a navigation menu for my site, but now that I'll have multiple pages, users can use this menu to go to different pages. Google automatically titles my new page with whatever I named the page at the menus when I created it, but I can change the title of the page by clicking on it, getting rid of the old title, and replacing it with new text. Similarly, I can change the name of the page in the menu by double-clicking on it in my Pages menu on the right and adding the text there. You can create on any page a footer. If you come down to the bottom with your cursor, Add Footer as an option will appear. Click it, and you're able to add or edit a footer. Any content you add to the footer on any page is automatically duplicated in the footer on all pages in your site. You get the same content editing tools as you'd have if you were editing the body of a page. This might be all you need in terms of consistency between pages. But if you'd like your pages to match each other in more ways, I'll show you how I can create and use a template page. In this Google site, I've set up the first page with the formatting and elements I'd like duplicated across other pages. The page title will be different for each page, but otherwise I'd like to have these header elements arranged as they are on this page and the navigation buttons on every page in the site. Since this site is an online lesson that I want students to move through in a particular order, these buttons provide direction. On the first page of the site, I'll delete the previous page button, and on the last page, I'll delete the next page button. Key to using a template is that Google allows you to duplicate a previously created page instead of creating a new one from scratch every time. An efficient way to create pages, then, is to create a template page that has formatting and elements you'd like to have in common across all your pages. So this is the first page. It's most efficient for me at this point, before I add any content to it, to click this menu on the first page and duplicate the page. And I'll name it Template. And just so I'm clear when working on a regular basis in this site, I'll change the page title also to Template. So now I can create any subsequent page on this site by duplicating the template page and then changing the title and adding content accordingly. Now obviously the template page isn't much use to visitors to my site, so what I'm going to do is take it off of this menu. I click the drop-down menu next to the page in the page list and click Hide from Navigation. Now it does not appear as a link in the site menu. So by using a template page, I can at any time add more pages to my site that are formatted as previous pages were. I can even create and use multiple template pages on a single site if I need different sets of pages formatted similarly to one another. I'll also briefly point out that adjacent to the Publish button is a menu where I can duplicate the entire site as another Google site. So if you need to create multiple sites with very similar formatting or content, such as might be the case with online lessons for a course, you can create a template site. Then you make copies of that template site to create individual sites. In the course of building or modifying a site, you may find you want a different home page altogether. So I created a new page to be a home page, which right now is named page 2. And I'm going to add content to it after I make it the home page. To make it the home page for the site, I simply click the drop-down menu for that page and choose Make Home Page. Now I'm going to have to rename these pages, of course, so that they're in order. So we see that pages automatically populate a menu on your published site. Here's some other tips concerning this menu and navigation generally. By default, Google puts it across the top in the upper right. That's how I prefer it, but you can change it to a left-hand column menu. So in the page editor, hover in the upper left-hand corner and you'll see a cog. Click on it, and you can choose the side navigation option. Now you don't see a whole lot here in the editor. It does add a 3 horizontal bar menu. But let's preview it. If I decide I don't like that menu format, I can just as easily change it back to top navigation. This menu can also have links to content elsewhere on the web instead of just pages on this Google site. So for example, if I just want to add a link to the Canisius College main website, that's easy to do. I go to the lower right and hover over the blue plus button, and this time choose the icon next to New Link. Under Name, I add the hyperlink name, and then I add the URL or web address under Link. And then I click Done. And the link is added to the navigation menu. Lastly, reordering pages is simple. Just click and drag Pages on the right-hand Pages menu. You can make a page a child page of any other page by clicking, dragging, and releasing it directly over the parent page. Notice that child pages are treated differently by Google in the site menu.